Hello everyone, it's Mason, and today I'm going to be going through part of my CD collection. This is going to be part one of a few parts because I was going to go through my collection by genre instead of just doing one long video. I'm going to do a few smaller videos, and today we're going to be going through my punk CDs. It's not the biggest collection, but there's some pretty good stuff in here, so yeah. First up, we have Suicidal Tendencies Prime Cuts. It's a compilation they released in the 90s, I believe, or late 90s, early 2000s. It's okay. It has some good songs on it, but it doesn't have a lot of songs from their first album, which is kind of disappointing. It has Institutionalized and I Saw Your Mommy, but they're both re-recorded versions that aren't as good as the original, so it's a bit disappointing, but some of the other songs are pretty good, so yeah. Next we have Tony Hawk's American Wasteland soundtrack. This isn't the full soundtrack, it's just the punk songs from it that they released on CD. And it's a lot of like emo bands from the time doing covers. So like Senses Fail does Institutionalized, Sing Back Sunday, does Suburban Home, My Chem Astro Zombies. So yeah, pretty good. Favorite game soundtrack of all time for like songs in a game, not like original music from a game. So yeah. Next, we have two bands I don't know much about. I just found these at a thrift store. Union 13 and US Bombs. From what I listen to, I like both bands a lot. US Bombs Orange Crunch is actually a really good song. I believe it's also in one of the Tony Hawk games, which is cool. Yeah, and then Union 13 I got because it was released on Epitaph, and it's pretty good. I would probably say it's like kind of early hardcore punk, like more along the lines of like Dead Kennedys, Bad Brains, and it's pretty good. Next is Violet Femmes Added Up 1981 to 1993. It's a compilation of Violent Femme songs. They're kind of like folk punk. Pretty good. My favorite song by them is Added Up. So yeah. I don't know a lot of their songs, but what I do know, I like a lot. Next is my Warped Tour CDs. I found all these at thrift stores. These two don't have the second disc, which is kind of disappointing. This one does, though, and this one is probably my favorite. It has Hawthorne Heights, has For Lovers, Offspring's Beheaded, Fall Boy Saturday. So, yeah. Next, we have my favorite thing AFI have ever put out, the All Hallows EP. This is what actually introduced me to the Misfits, who are my favorite punk band. So yeah, I just always have like loved the art of this, and the songs on it are pretty good. Halloween is really good. Boy Who Destroyed My World is my favorite song on it. So yeah, I'm really glad to have that. Next, we have some ska punk, the Mighty Mighty Boss Tones. I didn't know too much about them when I got this. A lot of my CDs come from thrift stores, and I just kind of take a chance on it because they're so cheap. So yeah, pretty good. I'm actually a pretty big fan of ska punk. But yeah, Mighty Mighty Boss Tones. My favorite song on here is probably The Impression That I Get. So pretty cool. Alright, next we have one of my, if not my favorite punk band of all time, the Misfits. We have American Psycho. I only like a few songs on this. Obviously, Dig Up Her Bones. But American Psycho and Walk Among Us are pretty good. So, yeah. Then we have the first Misfit CDs I got, the collection albums. These are pretty cool. They're not my favorite versions of the songs because all of the guitars and drum parts are re-recorded, but this is what kind of got me into the Misfits, and some of these songs aren't available on CD besides these compilations, like Horror Business, I don't know, some other ones I know, I just can't think of it, but yeah, nice collections if you're just getting into them. I think I paid like $20 for both of them, and pretty cool. Next, we have more Misfits with Earth AD and Static Age. Static Age is my favorite Misfits album of all time. There's just so many songs on here that like went on to be like some of the Misfits' best songs, like Some Kind of Hate, Last Caress, We Are 138, Attitude, Bullet, just Teenagers from Mars. Just love this album. And then we have Misfits Earth AD. This is my favorite Misfits album cover. I just like how I've just always liked this album cover. Like every time I look at it, I could find like new things or new details. The album's pretty short. I think it's only like 20 minutes long. But it has some really good songs like Green Hell, Mommy Can Go Out and Kill, Die Die My Darling. So, let's see. Next we have Terror, Lowest of the Low. This is again just a CD I found at a thrift store. I also found another CD you'll see later. I haven't listened to a lot of it, but from what I have listened to, I really like it. Terror's always a band like I heard of, just never never listened to. But yeah, continuing with the like kind of newer hardcore punk, we have Knocked Loose, Laugh Tracks, and A Different Shade of Blue. I love Knocked Loose. As soon as I heard them, I just like immediately just kind of loved their music because they're hardcore punk, but they mix in a lot of elements from metalcore, which is cool. So yeah, obviously like this has Oblivion Pete, Dead Ringer, Counting Worms, No Thanks, Laugh Tracks, which I love almost every song on this album. And then A Different Shade of Blue I haven't listened to as much, but from the songs I've listened to I really like it. Belleville and Mistakes Like Fractures are my favorite songs on it. Next we have Green Day. I have a complete set of Green Day CDs from everything up to their first album and all their studio and live albums up to Live at the BBC. I haven't gotten Saviors yet, but I just put my two favorite albums with my punk CDs. So we have American Idiot and Dookie. This American Idiot is the album and Green Day that got me into music. I mean, just every song, like I know this entire album by heart. Like that's just how much I like it. And then we have the second album that made me really like music in Dookie. I've always loved the art of this album. I mean, there's so many classic songs in here like Longview, Welcome Paradise, Basket Case, She, When I Come Around. So, yeah. I think the first CDs I bought was Green Day's Father of All, God's Favorite Band, American Idiot, and it's either Dookie or 21st Century Breakdown. I can't quite remember. Next we have Dropkick Murphys Live on St. Patrick's Day. This is, again, just a CD I found at a thrift store. I like a lot of the songs on it. I don't know a ton of Dropkick Murphy songs. Like, I know Chipping Up to Boston. But that's it before I listen to it. I've actually really liked this album. I like the energy it kind of brings. Next we have Don't Look Down 5. Again, I just bought this at a thrift store because I saw it was on Nitro Records. I'm not the biggest fan. It's very kind of like generic pop punk. So yeah, it's not my favorite. Next we have shit. Next we have just drop them, but Sublime. I have their greatest hits. Secondhand Smoke, which I found at a thrift store, and I had to print the album cover because it wasn't in there. And Robin in the Hood. Sublime is a band I actually really like. My favorite song by them is probably the reprised version of What I Got, which isn't on any of these. But yeah, I mean, I don't know what to say. I mean, it's Sublime. I feel like they're very much a love them or hate them band, but they're pretty good. Let's see. Next we have Come and Rest Blacklist. This was a CD again, I found a thrift store and decided to buy it. I actually really like them. This is the only thing they've ever put out, to my knowledge, but it sounds very similar to like Knock Loose and Drain, very like metalcore influenced pop or hardcore punk, but it has some pretty good songs. If you're looking for just something different to listen to, I'd recommend this. Um, let's see. Next we got the Descendants, Somari. This is the greatest hits album, and it's pretty good. My favorite song on this album is probably Suburban Home or Pervert. My favorite song by the Descendants is Murica. Um, but yeah, pretty good compilation, and I think it was fairly cheap. I think I got it for like $7 or $8, and yeah. Next we got the Clash Hits Back, Clash Greatest Hits compilation. I really the Clash. I like a lot of their big hits, but I'm not the biggest fan of like their kind of more obscure songs. But I really like obviously like London Calling, Save European Home, Know Your Rights, Should I Stay or Should I Go? Their cover of I Fought the Law is pretty good, but yeah, really nice collection. Next we have Dead Kennedys, Fresh Fruits for Rotting Vegetables. Um, this is probably my favorite Dead Kennedys album. It's a tie between this and Give Me Conformity or Give Me Death, I believe it's called. Um, but yeah, this is a great album. My favorite song in it is probably Kill the Poor or California Uber Alice. But I mean, I don't know what to say about this album. It's just so iconic for punk. But yeah, it's a great album. If you haven't heard it, I'd recommend it. Next we have Sick of It All, Step Down. This was sent to radio stations, so it only has 3 songs. My favorite song is probably Borstal Breakout or Step Down. But yeah, I found this at a Goodwill, surprisingly. And pretty cool. I'd like to get more Sick of It All CDs. Next we have Nevermind the Bollocks, Sex Pistols. When I first was getting into punk, I really liked this album. Now it's honestly not my favorite. Like, the production on it, I don't like. I don't like the voice of the lead singer. So I don't know. I'm not the biggest fan of it anymore. And yeah. Next we have the Essential Pansy Division. I got into them when I was kind of looking into Green Day, and when I was looking at some of their older tours, Pansy Division was the opening band. So when I saw this at my local music shop, I decided to get it, and I really like it's very goofy, lighthearted punk. My favorite song is probably Femme in a Leather Jacket. But yeah, I mean, it's very goofy. If you want something kind of funny to put on, just Pansy Division is pretty good. Next we have The Offspring. I have Smash, Ixnay on Hombre, Americana, and Conspiracy of One. Offspring is honestly one of my favorite bands. Smash is my favorite album by them. But honestly, it's just everything they put out, whether it's like their earlier punk stuff or kind of now they're just like more rock stuff, I've always liked. So yeah, I actually got to see them live in August with Sum 41 and Simple Plan, and that was a very good show until I got shoulder checked in the jaw in the mosh pit, and then it was a less fun show, but still really fun. Next we have the Ataris, So Long Astoria. I don't know if everyone would consider the Ataris punk. I would. I really don't know many songs on this besides The Boys of Summer and So Long Astoria. But I mean, those two songs are really good. And I found this at a thrift store for $1, so I decided to get it. Should probably listen to it completely one day, but next we have Alkaline Trio. I found one of their this is just a single for Time to Waste. Pretty good. I haven't listened to anything really by them besides this, but I really like this. I like the art on it. So yeah, and there's not much to say about that one. It only has 2 songs. Next we have more AFI. I don't know why the first CD wasn't with it, but we have Crash Love, Somewhere Underground, Sing the Starrows, and The Art of Drowning. For full-length albums, Art of Drowning is probably my favorite, because that was kind of like their last true punk album. I mean, their other stuff has punk influences, but yeah. I like Sing the Sorrow a lot. I like December Underground. I haven't listened to Crash Love a lot off of it. Should probably do that one of the days, but yeah. I've always loved early AFI covers, or like album covers, and just their art. And then I feel like when they kind of went more death rock, emo rock, their covers just kind of got a lot less interesting. But pretty cool stuff. I actually found out about AFI through Guitar Hero 2, I know is Guitar Hero 2 or 3, but yeah. Next we have No Doubt Rocksteady. Actually getting, when I'm recording this, actually just announced they're playing a show at Coachella, which is pretty cool. Obviously you won't be able to go see it, but yeah. Tragic Kingdom's probably my favorite album by them. And Just a Girl and Sunday Morning are my favorite songs by them, but pretty cool. And if you don't know, this was Gwen Stefani's band before she went on to do her own stuff. So that's pretty cool. And then, last 2 albums I have are actually a band I'm seeing in May. We have Bad Religion's All Ages, which is a compilation of some of the greatest hits and some live stuff. And then How Could Hell Be Any Worse? I actually found this at a thrift store, which is pretty cool. I ordered the tickets, and then 2 days later, found this. So, pretty cool. This is their first full-length album, and this one has some other EPs on it, too. Which is pretty cool. And then this one has just a lot of their greatest hits and then like live versions of the songs. So yeah, that is everything. Thank you for watching. I believe my next video is probably gonna be my vinyl collection or another part of my CD collection. I'm not sure yet, but yeah, thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.